Well, a lot of activity in the break. Marcus Semien, who got down to first base after the ground out, and he was all over Alan Porter. Porter's the guy who made the call, and Marcus stayed on him. And you can just about figure out what is going to happen here, as Alan Porter just decided to throw him out. And Marcus then came back and got his money's worth. Bob Melvin came out, and they let Bob Melvin argue quite a bit. He did not get thrown out. So Marcus Semien is out of the game. Jim Reynolds is trying to be a peacemaker. That's his job as the crew chief. But Bob Melvin is not a happy man. So Pinder takes over at shortstop. Chapman runs, and that is strike 3 called. So that time the low strike was called, and Piscotty just got thrown out of the game. So Alan Porter strikes again, as he threw out Semien last night. He throws out Piscotty today, and that's how the bottom of the 10th ends. So Piscotty, he did not say a lot, but whatever he said must have been the magic word, and now Bob Melvin gets thrown out. So the way it looks to me, the A's have probably had just about enough of Alan Porter.
Fair to say. Well, we've seen the bottom of this strike zone float and disappear at times. It's a good pitch here from Ozuna, but you can understand the frustration of these hitters. Later in the ball game, it gets higher leverage situations. You're trying to get a feel for what you need to cover up as far as the strike zone is concerned.
All right, so we are on to the 11th inning. Yeah, this game is all tied at 4-4.
But when I went to Minnesota and had a catcher that wasn't able to throw,
now they call the balk.
Yeah.
James Hoy is saying he stepped home and went to first.
And Gardy's going to argue that's his move. That's what he's been doing. There's supposed to be an imaginary line at 45 degrees that they have to get past. If you drew a line from the pitcher rubber to home plate and then cut it in half, a left-handed pitcher is supposed to pitch at least past that 45-degree imaginary line. Gardy.
Yeah, see you. He's going to get his money's worth now.
About 45 degrees. See where Matthew steps. And he's already going towards, and this is considered towards home plate, right? He's got to step on this side of that line, and he really didn't there. And that's probably why he got called for the balk.
Crowd appreciates the passion from their manager.
He's not sure if it'll happen then, but he thinks it's imminent, or at least very soon, hoping sometime next week.
Oh, they're chirping now and there. Look at him. They're on Dreckman. Uh-oh. 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 Here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There you go.
And they just threw out Ned Yost.
It's going to happen here. On balls and strikes, you're not allowed to chirp and argue. And if you want to argue, then you can get tossed.
Giolito has struck out 11, and 5 of them have been looking. And I think that is what Ned Yost has been barking about with his staff. There were examples of several off the plate that were called strikes, and Ned just fighting for his team.
And Ned's fans are loving that. Just sticking up for Alex.
Former MVP of the American League. And that got him a piece of his jersey. They'll put runners at first and third. And what in the world is he mad about? You know, it's Donaldson barking. And now the bench is empty. And Donaldson throws Diaz to the side. And now here they come. Didn't see any punches thrown, but certainly a shove from Donaldson, shoving Elias Diaz to the side.
And this is Donaldson, all on Donaldson. I mean, he gets hit in the shirt, not a body part, but in the shirt. and he's going to.
I couldn't believe he was barking at Musgrove.
Well, he's barking at Musgrove. Why are you looking at me? Because Musgrove's looking at him like, why are you looking at me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so Donaldson's sitting there staring at him with this disgusted look, and Musgrove looks back at him. What's Musgrove supposed to go crawl under the mound? You know? And try to intimidate Musgrove, but Musgrove's not going to take any of that. And so because of Donaldson staring out, now what are you looking at me for? Well, because you're looking at me.
Now the umpires will gather to discuss if any action will be taken. Again, it barely grazes the jersey.
It hits the button.
And he's mad about that.
Yeah, so he's looking at Musgrove,
Now watch him shove Diaz off to the side. Just like many baseball skirmishes, the guy never gets to the guy he's yelling at. Convenient. What's going to happen here? They're not talking about Musgrove. Well, they'll go ballistic here if they take Musgrove out of this game. No way. Oh my goodness. I think they're going to throw Musgrove out of the game. Look at this. Holy mackerel, this would be unbelievable. For her to react like this, I mean, he's not going to act like that over a warning. I'm guessing Musgrove has been tossed from this game. Let's go down to Robbie. He might have overheard something.
I did, yeah. All I heard is you can't do that to Joe. You can't do that to Joe. And that's what Clint Hurdle is angry about. And the rest of the guys in the Pirates dugout are saying the same thing. Joe Musgrove has indeed been ejected from this
This is unbelievable.
There is no way.
Unbelievable. What in the world is going on? Wow. And Hurdle just got tossed.
Oh, you have to get tossed. This is ridiculous.
That's I've never seen anything like it. That's unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
This is one of the most stunning things. Of course, it's in Atlanta again, of all places. Remember the call. It's incredible. They are going to toss Musgrove from this game for that. Are you kidding me? Wow. Baseball, you've got to be kidding. Look at this.
Been the theme of the night. Going the other way with it, Andrus will gun. Is a very good arm. Plenty of time. 2 down. Well, Alex Cora out. Talking with the first base umpire, Carapazza. Wonder if Andrew Benintendi's been thrown out of the game. He has been thrown out of the game. They have run Benintendi. Angel Hernandez, who's the crew chief, coming up as well up that line.
Well, let's see if we can find out what happened. I mean, they see Benintendi being thrown out of the game. He was hot about something, but it didn't look like he was reacting to the first base umpire. And Cora's still trying to make his argument out there. From what I'm watching, I couldn't see who Benintendi was hot at or why he was hot. He grounded out.
And Cora's now been run. Alex Cora has been thrown out of the game. And he is hot at Angel. And now he's going after Carapazza.
This is the first time we've seen Cora this hot.
Well, I can't remember a moment of last season where he needed to be. So this is Benintendi after he crossed first base. That's a routine play.
Okay, crosses first base. That looked all routine. Looks back, and it looks like he's looking at the home plate umpire, Hernandez.
Generally, it was DH or left field. That ball smoked off the wall and left. And Cabrera is going to try for 2. He almost hit that one too hard, but he is in there with the double. No, he's called out. Initially safe. and then the out signal from Jordan Baker. So it's a single and then an assisted second to put out Cabrera for the second out of the inning. Here comes Chris Woodward. And Woody, I think, saying like, hey, we haven't had our full 30 seconds. We haven't made a decision yet. Angel Hernandez, he tends to find himself in these spots. And Woody has also been ejected.
Biggest cheer the Red Sox fans have had tonight.
Wow. And Woody, this is his first opportunity to really get out there. And
I just have to think that if Woody is arguing like that, he's on the right side of this argument. I have no idea exactly what's being said, but I don't know that we've seen him this animated all season long, and for him to get that upset, he's got to have a pretty good argument.
Well, I wonder if the argument he's making is that there was a safe call, right? He made a safe call and then made an out call, and I don't know what it's going to be interesting to talk to him about it. Boy, he came flying out of that dugout.
And the pitch by Anderson, another breaking ball, but that'll be down. So now Meadows ahead in the count, 2-0. And now Bob Melvin's been thrown out. And he's coming out to argue with Sean Barber.
And I bet it's about the pitches, because the one thing about the guys in the dugout, I mentioned the manager, is they can see because they're at that eye level.
And Bob Melvin right now is going to get his money worth. That was a very quick hook. I believe that's ejection number 43 on his career.
I mean, the point is, if you're going to give their catcher that call, then you got to give my catcher the call. And it seems like, in Bob's view, it was one-sided.
Yeah. Strike three above the belt. A high strike rings up Ronald Acuna, and right now the strike zone's a mystery. It really is. You see what Brian Snitker thought of the call and where he thought the pitch was. It takes the Braves out of the inning, and Acuna was frustrated by it. And Snitker came out, argued balls and strikes, which is an automatic ejection. So he's thrown out, and then Acuna, bat and helmet go bouncing. Trip Gibson compounds his mistake by finding Acuna for throwing the gear, and the Braves will move on to the fifth inning without their leader Brian Snitker.
Prince Twins jerseys. They'll be taking those back to Manhattan.
Yeah, same color pack. Oh no.
Hunter Wendelstedt has not had a consistent strike zone tonight. And he is an umpire who has a very short fuse.
Wow, that hurts. It didn't take long. Neds want to know why.
There's the pitch that was considerably low, if we're going to believe the strike zone grid. And I don't know if that's enough or if it's worth getting thrown out of the game.
That's one way to use the giveaway. They're here.
Look at Brinson somewhere back behind there.
Oh, Ron Gardenhire just got tossed. Now he's going to get his money's worth with Manny Gonzalez.
You're saying the ball's down. Manny Gonzalez is a veteran umpire. He's just Gardy's frustrated. Me too. So Gardy and He's gone longer in the past, but he's getting smarter. I mean, the longer you're out there, you just want to watch what you say.
Castillo turns to look at Phil Cuzzy. And it's called ball 3. And Phil Cuzzy just ran Wellington Castillo. Ricky Renteria comes out trying to help Castillo. Ricky said, Phil, listen to me. Castillo turned. So now James McCann is DHing tonight. Castillo is irate. Whatever was said, Wellington is fired up. Now Ricky's fired up.
And usually this results in Ricky getting thrown out of the game.
And there it is. Phil Cuzzy just ran Ricky Renteria as well.
Well, you know that's coming because Ricky wants to get his money's worth. And it's 7-0. The fans have shown up. It's a full house tonight, so they might as well get a little entertainment. And Ricky gets a heave-ho along with Wellington. And that pitch had a part of the inside corner. I mean, we've seen that pitch, that exact same pitch called tonight.
Good arms now.
Strike 3 call. Machado does not like it. And we'll say some things here to Bill Welke. Yeah, and he's going to get tossed. Manny Machado is tossed from this game. Ooh, and throwing his bat off the backstop after being ejected. And he will head to the clubhouse.
Well, let's go back to the pitch here. It's a fastball off the plate at 97. We've seen a lot of pitches tonight, both ways called off the plate strikes. Sure, Manny has a legitimate gripe, but as I said, when you're around the plate, he got that particular call there. Does he have a right to gripe? Yes, but the bad thing here is, though, what happened after this. You know, the ejection, what's going to happen. Then he threw his bat. That's not a good thing.
To center field, Myers out there in center for the first out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So 1 down.
We got chirping going on.
A lot of chirping. What's going on there?
I don't know.
Andy Green is coming out of the dugout and pointing. Not sure at what, but Welke went back at him, and now Andy coming out more. Saying somebody's not talking to you. I'm not sure who he thought was talking to him. And now Andy Green's been tossed. And he's just going to try to get Andy off the field. Taking multiple coaches to get him out of here, and they're having
the switch.
No success.
Wow, late call. The strikeout for Montas.
And what happened with Kyle on his first AB, he is not happy right now, so. Or Scott, yep, there you go, hustle out there, because I don't think Kyle's going to go anywhere in a hurry. That's 2 at-bats right now. Kyle thought that pitch was down out of the strike zone. It was borderline, and then the check swing in his first at-bat. Scott doing a nice job getting out there.
Boom,
there he goes.
he's out. 5 strikeouts for Montas, and now he's going to just defend his guys.
Well, that's what he's telling him right now. This is the reason why I came out here, throwing me out.
Manny going to come out to get
think Scott violently disagree. Scott's run from the ball game.
We'll take a look at the pitch. That is borderline, probably down out of the strike zone. Again, it was a check swing on Kyle's first at bat that he also thought that he had walked. Scott not happy. He thinks it's down. And now with the argument, he did the right thing to go out there and get his player out of the way and Kyle's keep him in the ball game.
Bradley Jr. above average as well.
The one delivery's bunting. It's a safety squeeze. Now they're going to come in and score. Throw will go to first and get the out. Ooh. Tough play as Brewer looked home and then had to do a 360, but a fine bunt laid down and scoring from third base Santander.
Yeah,
and
great.
the Orioles tie it up.
Yeah, great play rate here, and I think they're going to review this play here to make sure that
the umpires are going to meet on this. There's not a challenge here because that play is in front of the bag. Discussion going on with Brandon Hyde now. Crew chief is Mark Carlson, the second base umpire, who is in there with a home plate umpire, Trip Gibson. And thrown out is Brandon Hyde. Hyde just got heaved because that is what they're saying. There was interference. The base runner was out of the base pass and he just got tossed out of the ball game.
I think this crew was preparing for this when they met out on the infield right there. I'll mess with Brandon Hyde right now. He's been a little irritated last couple days, and that is not a good call. Man.
So Brandon is out. And the runner's got to go back to third. That run will not score. Santander's got to go back.
Gosh.
Oh, an ejection from the Rangers bench. Chris Woodward's just been thrown. Now we saw this before the 5th inning. Saw Doug Eddings go over and talk to Woody. It looked like an amicable conversation. And I just heard him yelling, one more. And whatever it was, he heard it and has ejected Chris Woodward. And obviously, after the Cabrera strikeout, a called third strike, there was some discontent in the Rangers dugout.
Well, Asdrubal had seen a number of breaking balls and then a fastball. And, you know, no hitter's going to like that call, but a pitcher with the kind of command that Bieber has lives on that kind of command.
Cabrera,
that's not good.
No.
That is definitely not good.
So it must have been Cabrera who was ejected and not Woody.
That's going to add to the penalty.
Yeah, those may have carried a little better than he thought they were when he initially tossed them.
You know, it was a borderline pitch. There's no doubt about it, but it wasn't the kind of call that was a blatant mistake.
Strike 3 call. Gerardo Parra has been ejected.
Well, that's big if he was going in for defense. I don't think he was. He's probably going to look at what we're going to look at right now, and that was outside. I don't know what he said, but did you think that was a quick hook?
Had to say something. That was fast.
And he's letting Dave Roberts know, and somebody just got thrown out of the game.
I hope it's not Justin Turner. And Dave Roberts coming over here to explain the voices. How can you discern who yelled that at you and then throw somebody out?
And I think it is Turner. I think you're right.
And they only have 3 bench players tonight. No, they're up to 4 now with Beatty being called up. That's pretty sensitive for a man in blue to toss Justin, because that would be the first words out of his mouth, and nobody in the stands knows it.
We've seen some really good restraint from umpires this season, with some pretty strong arguments coming from both sides. That is the opposite end of that spectrum. It's Chad Fairchild, who has a really good reputation. He's been a full-time umpire since 2010. He's done the postseason a bunch. A quick trigger, it appears, on Turner. And now Fairchild gonna wait until Turner vacates the dugout. Justin still can't believe that it's him.
That's what you should do if you're the player. Stay there and make them re-identify you. And Justin's even going to be madder when he goes in and sees it on TV and how liberal a strike call it was, that it wasn't over the plate. Not his or Max's. And signaling the safe sign there was no visit because of the delay.
I mean, it almost brings tears to your eyes to think about that, and then have Civale have the start that he's had thus far.
Well, particularly in the start of this year, too, when you look at from a personal level in Civale's case. He's throwing breaking balls now.
And now it looks like Castellanos just got rung.
Well, the pitches that Castellanos is arguing were in the box. They were strikes and quality strikes. This isn't a right-handed pitcher that is so erratic that you're giving a called strike on a corner. But maybe this is the frustration of Castellanos coming out of where he's at in this season and all the trade rumors and his personal situation. It starts to really rear its head inside that one at bat.
Castellanos had words for the home plate umpire Roberto Ortiz. I mean, that's a borderline pitch right there. It's really close.
Ball got his hands, and they say he swung at it.
Oh.
I just said I didn't swing.
I don't know about that.
We can't even review it, you know, because they said he swung. You can review it if it's a hit by pitch. But you can't review it.
Check swing.
Got a check swing. And that's the first time that Gabe Kapler's been thrown out of a ball game.
Getting his money's worth.
There he is.
Take a look. Did not swing at it.
It did hit his hands.
Back of his right hand.
He didn't swing though.
No, he did not.
And we're not done.
Oh, really?
Warning, Joe West has warned both teams. Why would you warn them? I mean, I know you have back-to-back home runs.
I have no idea. Gabe's saying, why are you warning us?
Oh, Gabe's been thrown out for the second time on this homestand. Atrocious, I see, he said. It was a quick exit, but it also is a quick warning. I know that there's obviously history with the rivalry. There was Reese's slow trotter on the bases the last time the Phillies were facing the Mets.
Ball and 2 strikes from Scherzer and a called strike 3. Well, another double-digit strikeout performance for Max Scherzer. That one just caught the corner. Whoop. Hold on. Miguel Rojas was still barking about that last strike call. And Mike Estabrook has thrown him out of the game. So out of the dugout comes Rojas.
Yeah, that was an interesting set of circumstances right there. Don Mattingly kind of got caught in defending his player and at the same time letting his player speak his piece. Rojas, one of the team leaders of this Marlins crew.
I think the general gist of the conversation, we'll hear more from Donnie after the game, is that Scherzer's good. Holly, kind of what you just said. He's good enough. He doesn't need extra inches off the edges. Donnie and Miggy done for the night. To the ninth.
Pretty famous throughout baseball. Strike 3 called. And some words with Kerwin Daniel, and he threw him out of the game.
David Bell's going to run out there before it gets out of hand, and he ends up doing something to cost him a couple of games.
And hopefully he didn't make contact when he was pointing that finger.
Well, Danley acted like he did. He actually pointed his own finger into his own chest. Puig was very upset after that first pitch. It was called a strike. It looked like it could have been inside, but it was called a strike, and Puig never recovered in that at bat after that pitch. He fouled off the second pitch to make it 0-2, and he was still worried about the first pitch. Bell just got rung by Kerman Danley.
And now Puig tosses his bat and his helmet into the batter's box, and David Bell is going to get his money's worth. They are having to pull away Puig so that this doesn't escalate further.
This is all over a strikeout.
Yeah.
It was, and called strike 3. And Cargo saying you can't give them both. And now Joe Maddon's going to come out and try to protect Carlos Gonzalez. And he just got thrown out arguing balls and strikes. Now he fires the bat to the ground. Joe Maddon tried to get there in time to save Cargo, but he got there too late. And Gonzalez strikes out for the second time. Strike 2 looked like a strike. We'll have to take a look at strike 3's call. To your point, if it was close on strike 2, you got to swing the bat on that close pitch, and Gonzalez didn't.
Well, you called it, Bertie. You know, you said it. And a lot of times when you do that, throw it away. I'm not saying the umpire's out to get you, but it definitely doesn't make them happy, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, if I was pitching and you showed up the umpire, I just felt like I had to put the next one close. I wondered what it was like for a hitter, and if you felt like you had to be swinging.
That was a strike.
Oh, yeah, those are tough pitches. Those are tough pitches for me to be taking right there. I mean, 3-2, I'm not leaving the ump up with that choice.
And Nick Lentz very calmly put his hand up, told Gonzalez, stop, stop. Carlos couldn't stop.
Dozier rips one into the left field corner. 2-0 Washington. Dozier hustles for 2, kicks it into high gear, and then puts on the brakes. Thought about it for a moment. Instead, it's a clutch 2-out RBI double. And Ron Gardenhire just got tossed. He's arguing about the ball that Soto thought was strike 3. And now Gardenhire is going to get his full 30 seconds or so.
Hit Peraza. Sure did. That was a breaking ball.
And obviously no intent there. Getting him with a breaking ball. This guy's wild anyway. And that's why. And now look, David Bell's coming out, and I'm sure he's saying you've given a warning to each team. And I'm sure he's asking the question, if you gave a warning and a pitcher hit another batter, right, then why isn't he thrown out of the game? Now, that's what and I'm sure he's arguing, but I'm sure the home plate umpire is saying, do you really think he meant to hit him with that pitch?
Look, David is playing the game right now. He's trying to make a young pitcher wait a long time in between batters. If he actually got the decision to throw Maples out of the ball game, it makes the Cubs use one extra pitcher going into tomorrow.
And David thrown out of the game with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And boy, he is really upset. I mean, really upset.
I think David is more upset right now about the Puig hit batter than he is about the breaking ball that just hit Peraza.
That's the 6th time this year that David Bell's been thrown out of a game. You got to go all the way back to Clark Griffith in back-to-back years in the early 1900s. A manager, and that includes guys like Lou Piniella, right, among others.
Say something to Bruce Druckman when he gets back up there, but that's been the norm here in the early going.
And they're already saying something to Bruce Druckman. Druckman took exception to what he was hearing from the Rays dugout, and Kevin Cash will get his money's worth. Druckman was pretty emphatic.
He definitely gave him enough warning.
So Kevin Cash with a few parting words.
See, if the video replay review came back and Kiermaier was not at first base, we had him thrown out then. Little did we realize it wouldn't take much longer.
2 in a row and you're gone.
He said, we just looked at it, it's a ball, and it's 2 in a row.
Curveball misses, 1-0. So Greinke will hit. Mike Malinsky is hearing it from the Diamondback dugout, and Torey Lovullo's been ejected. Mike Malinsky looked over there, said, "What have you got to say?" Torey said something and was run immediately. And he's got an issue with some of the strike calls by the plate umpire, Mike Malinsky. And here comes the crew chief, Dan Isonia, all the way over from first base as Malinsky's trying to walk away. Torey's not letting him go. And finally, Isonia breaks it up. This was called a ball. And right away, you can see Malinsky look into the Diamondback dugout twice. And that's when Torey said something, and this is the reaction right here. You're done.
Well, he might have been barking at him of some of those other back doors like to Kelly that punched him out, the hitter before. And it might have been something that was stewing on some of the other pitches also.
Oh, yeah. It's never about one pitch, ever.